Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and have you ever wondered when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes a parent. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Taxi Life, a city driving simulator. Now that's a mouthful. Developed by Synteract and published by MiAh. I hope I'm pronouncing those correct. Released not in early access and selling for $30. So, it's finally come to this. A taxi driver simulator. I thought Supermarket Simulator was a bit of a stretch, but wow, this is... Okay, let's just go into it then. The gist of the story? Well, it's just as you'd expect. Not much. You're in Barcelona and you're a brand new taxi driver trying to build up your own business, basically. That's it. So now, as always, let's go into the good and the bad, followed by my final thoughts. Alright? Okay, so first up is the positives, also, as always. And the very first positive point for me is the graphics. I think when I saw the art style and the detail on the Steam store page, it kind of sold me on this. I really wanted to check it out just to see if it looked as good as it did on the Steam store page, and FYI, it does. I mean, this looks amazing. The lighting, the texture, the detail, the contrast, everything about this game looks great. Hell, the only thing that looks a little bit low textured is the people you pick up in your taxi, but even they don't look that bad. So yeah, the game looks freaking phenomenal. I could keep going on and on about it, but I don't really want to. I want to keep moving on. Next up for the positives is the sound effects. The voice acting sounds decent enough. The music is freaking awesome. And then you've got the sound effects in the game. Everything sounds pretty great. The ambiance is really nice. You can hear things in like different sirens or other cars or accidents and all kinds of stuff happening around you. And they all sound really realistic. I mean, collisions sound realistic, brakes sound realistic, and the car even has multiple music channels that you can listen to while you're driving around. So the sound quality in this game is just, it's really phenomenal. Like everything to listen to in this game, from music to voice acting to sound effects, sounds exactly the way you want it to. Next up for the positives is the gameplay. Now this is also going to be in the negatives as well, but for now, I'm just going to talk about the positives of the gameplay. The detail here is amazing. The ideas and the controls and the overall different things that you can do and everything that's included here in the gameplay is astounding. Like, this game does not deserve to be this good or this well designed. Literally everything you could do in a real car, you can do here. Turn on the radio, change channels, change volume, manual control the windows up and down, all of them. Turn on wipers, turn on your lights, turn on your brights, fill your car up with fuel, take it to get clean, both inside and out, put your blinkers on, put on a handbrake, and I could keep going with all the different stuff that you can do. You can also manage your car, its mechanical upgrades, as well as cosmetic upgrades. Then you can also hire drivers and buy cars for them and upgrade them, and they'll go out and earn money as well, thus building up your own business of taxi drivers. So overall, the amount of detail included in the specific driving and all things around it is insane. I was blown away by how much was here and how much you could actually do. The next positive point that I want to point out is a twofer, the stability in the tutorial. The tutorial is pretty great. It's just a driver's test, and it's easy to understand and quick to learn and not too overly complicated, which is nice. Then the stability. The game never crashed, never bugged out, never dropped frames. As far as I can tell, the game is incredibly stable, at least for me it was, and the best part is just how smooth it played despite its amazing graphics. That's what did it for me, that it can look this good and still play this good. Like, that was awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so that's all the positives that I gotta say about this game. Now I gotta go on to the negatives, but before that, listen to this interesting tidbit. YouTube only widespread advertises channels that are already popular or already getting views. They don't take videos like mine and advertise them, not really. So it's really hard for my channel to get noticed and to grow. Now you can help me with this. Liking, commenting, and subscribing does help me look more professional, but actually spreading word of my channel, sharing my content online, now that really helps my growth. So please consider supporting my channel today. Thank you. Now then, on to the negatives. And the first one I want to talk about is the gameplay, because I already mentioned how it was going to be in both. So, the gameplay and the mechanics of the controls, they are awesome. But the actual gameplay, like the stuff you're actually going to be doing the whole time you're playing, is this. This right here, this is the game. You mostly waiting for other cars to move so you can go further. The game features a hell of a lot of driving rules, just like real life, that you have to follow, which is fine, but this is the entire gameplay, just driving here and there, and it's really boring. Oh yeah, and before I forget, the car never fully stops. I don't understand why. Is it a game mechanic or is that an actual bug that I didn't recognize as a bug? Like, you have to actually put on the parking brake to get your car to stop moving. Otherwise it will just drift forward or backward for no reason, banging into shit. Really annoying. Next up for the negatives is the terrible, terrible NPC drivers in this city. I'll be stopped in front of a stoplight, waiting patiently for it to turn green because I'm trying to follow the rules because I don't want to get a ticket, which you can get in this game, and then randomly someone will just rear end me. There's no insurance in this game, just damage. So when these dumb NPCs hit my car randomly, I gotta spend cash to fix it. Then you've got them smashing into each other all the time, which, you know, doesn't affect you, but it does break immersion a little bit, like no one crashes that much. And of course, they're smashing into me all the time as well, despite me following the rules and putting on my blinker and all the other stuff. Stopping for literally no reason in the middle of the road, and honestly, I could keep going about all the crazy stuff I saw them doing while I was playing, but I don't have all day. Driving is already kind of boring in this game, and it's a little hard to do with PC controls to drive so realistically, despite all the tools they give you. And I really don't need stupid NPCs making it even more annoying and more frustrating to try and drive around. And last but not least for the negatives is the price tag. Look, I get the high quality graphics and the voice acting. I understand it's fully released and it's got a lot of production value built in, but it's a taxi driving simulator. Like, are you serious? This is $30. I am not paying for graphics and I'm not paying for voice actors. Those don't matter to me. Gameplay is what matters to me. So is this gameplay worth $30? No, not in my opinion. I mean, the driving in GTA is better than this, honestly. It just doesn't have all the realistic components. $25 max. As far as I'm concerned and as far as I can tell, there's nothing here besides those graphics that might make this game worth its asking price. Alright, so that's all the pros and cons I got for this game. My overall thoughts, well, I mean, it's got decent gameplay with a shit ton of details and realism. It looks really good, and with the voice acting and music, there's clearly some effort put into its development. But the gameplay itself is actually kind of boring. The NPCs that you're forced to interact with are terrible drivers, and ruining the whole thing in my opinion. And for $30, I just don't know. The gameplay is key to me, and if the gameplay is boring, nothing you add to the world around it is going to really keep me playing. So I guess if the idea of this really interests you and you've got $30 to spare, then sure, try it out, I guess. But I don't really want to recommend it. It's not something that you just have to play, like Helldivers 2. That's something you have to play. I mean, it looks good, and it's interesting, and got some really cool and fun gameplay mechanics, including speaking to your passengers and improving their patience and improving their mood, which gets you a better tip. I thought that was interesting, but I still just don't think it's worth $30. And if it gets a discount, then maybe you should check it out and invest in it. But who knows, maybe it's just not my kind of game. Maybe it's your kind of game, and this looks awesome to you, in which case I hope you enjoy it. But overall, you guys need to make the decision. I'm just here to provide you with information. Alright, everybody? Alright, so that's all the time I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those of you who stuck around till the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.